I've been fishing for over 25 years, and yet every time I hit the water, I'm reminded that there's so much out there to learn. In this video, we set out on a 36-hour overnight mission hundreds of miles into the Gulf. The goal was to catch the biggest variety of deep sea bottom fish as we could, with an epic crew of characters and some of the Gulf's most untouched fishing. I couldn't wait to see what was lurking in the deep. The fish in this area can be some of the most stubborn and the most delicious. So we ended the adventure with an amazing catch and cook with our friends. Between the smack talk,
First day on the job, right there.
the heartbreaking mistakes,
Dude, what? What's going on
and
here?
the triumphant successes, you all aren't going to want to miss a minute of this video. So join the boys and I for an epic 36 hours in Louisiana's untouched deep water. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Louisiana. We have a full boat, full crew today. We are headed probably 100 miles offshore, and we are after some monster fish in some deep water. I'm gonna load up the boat, and then I'm gonna slowly introduce you guys to everyone that's on the boat. This is gonna be one heck of an adventure. Over 36 hours on the water, coming right up. Okay, so we have Dennis, we have Victor, if you guys don't know who he is, I don't blame you, no one knows who he is. We have Johnny from Johnny Jigs.
What I get for 15 years of friendship?
Yeah, you get the most smack talk. You get the least niceness from me. We also have the man, the myth, the legend, Joe VT. Last time we fished together, this man caught a giant tuna that got like over 1 million views, so we're good luck together.
We are.
We have Austin, we have Adam, and we have Jared back there. We have a full crew of guys. Everyone's gonna be doing some fishing. Everyone's gonna be doing some catching. And our man Joe's gonna help put us on them. Dang, I almost got it.
So close. Redo the whole thing.
No. We'll see you guys out there. Okay, Joe, why is this such an epic fishery? Why did I go out of my way to come all the way to Louisiana to see your pretty face?
Because you love me.
Oh, okay, that's actually why.
And yeah, really it's all about pressure, you know? This is the runs that we have to make to get out here are really, really far. And for the most part, this is a pretty untapped fishery. You know, even the best guy in the business, Joey Macy with Down the Bayou, he's still finding new spots and learning new stuff every single day out here. It's just, you know, the limit is unknown to how insane this fishery is. But really it boils down to the amount of pressure. I mean, we do have to make, you know, 100-mile runs, 120, 130, 140-mile runs some days to get to some of these exotic fish, but it's 100% worth it. It is one of the best fisheries in the United States and probably the best fishery for slow pitch jigging. It's just a really special place in the Gulf, for sure.
My Yeti's in the...
Hell yeah, brother. Let's get after it. We have a
go, brother.
3.5 mile run?
3.5, yes.
Yeah, no, 3.5 hour
There
run.
you go. Yeah.
We'll see you guys out there. Okay, so first stop of the day. We actually didn't have this spot marked. We are probably like 20-30 miles from where Joe wanted to start fishing. But he ran over a ledge. That ledge can hold tons of fish. There's so much water out here. So we're actually gonna work our way around, find that ledge, and we're gonna drop some of these jigs on it. This right here, 300-gram Johnny jig. It's called the falling leaf, but basically this thing is gonna sink. Whoa. This thing's gonna sink all the way to the bottom like this. And then I'm gonna start working it. It's gonna come up and it's gonna flutter back down. It's gonna go like that, it's gonna go like this, and it looks like a wounded fish. So we shall see. These things work for a ton of different species. We're gonna see snappers, we're gonna see groupers this trip, see who gets the first bite. One of the first things I'm gonna do is drop this falling leaf. I think we got a G. It's fish. There we go.
Oh! I just moray!
Ooh, we got us a nibble.
Moray like the
We got us a nibble.
moray bobber went under.
I felt a little tap as it was about to hit the bottom. Definitely not as big as the yellow veg that came on the deck, but it's the first bite of mine that's not a mahi on the surface. Now we got the long wind all the way to the surface. We will be back to you after our regularly scheduled break. And we have, oh my goodness.
Highly endangered red snapper.
Wow. What a magnificent creature we have here. We have us a little red snapper on the jig, American red. Just did a video on these. Ow! This guy's making sure I earn it. Spiking the crap out of me. But these eat the jig just as well as they eat bait. Coming up from him.
We fish the bubbles a lot around here.
Look at that. Ruddy little red going back to the ocean. Okay, drop number 2. Oh, we got mahi off the bow, mahi off the bow. Whole school of them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, those are actually decent.
Yeah. We got the popper up top. We got. They're going to the right.
3 of them.
They went off to the right. I would just cast straight that direction as far as you can.
There you are. Oh.
That didn't take long. He already ate that and is jumping at the boat.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
There's a foul ass on him. Bro, easy. I broke my gap. All right. Just grab the line.
I am.
First day on the job right there.
You just wanted to get the boat all dirty, huh?
I remember my first time. Look, they're right there.
We're not quite in the depth we want to be in yet, but kind of in the depth that you can catch red snapper and scamps and other interesting stuff. This is in the middle of nowhere. I just had a random mark in the middle of nowhere. I've been staring at the screen for the past, hour and a half. I haven't really seen much. Get him, son. Oh, you got him? For real. Nice and easy, brother.
We like that. We like it when they fight really hard near the bottom and then they just kind of chill out and you slow reel under the surface. It's the fight you're looking for.
Oh, there it is. What is it?
Color.
Here we are. Here's the one. Is it a gag? Look at the size of the yellowhead. Shallow water yellowhead.
Wow, that's good. Man, look at the size of this yellow edge. First drop of the day, giant yellow edge grouper, shallow water. Man, what a cool trip. This is just getting started. We're about to just smoke some stuff. Good bite, big bite on the jig. This rod's been hot all day. Good big thump, couple big tail whips.
It may look like Victor and I aren't catching much, and that's because we really weren't. Not for lack of trying either. Everyone else on the boat seemed to be having great luck, but Victor and I up on the bow, man, I don't know. We just were jigging our lives away and not getting the bites, but everyone in the back was absolutely killing it.
Look, if whenever you're ready to come on and get on some bent rods like this, come check us out. GoAmericaOutfitters.com. Come fish with Capt Joe VT on the Sicario. These 36-hour overnight trips are absolutely phenomenal.
Boys, anytime, feel free.
Just over here trying to get all these South Florida boys tuned up on this Northern Gulf stuff.
Oh. Joe, see on the other side of the boat?
I don't know, go look. All right, be short arm. He's in between the sponsons. You might have to back him all the way off of him.
Coming around.
Him on step. Did he hung on the steps? Did he hung on the steps? You might have to come backwards with him.
So this was absolute chaos. Adam had hooked that really nice fish that we thought was fighting like a big grouper, but when it came up, it was stuck on the boat. It was stuck in between the sponsons. try as we might, really couldn't get it out. You know, it didn't seem like anything we were doing was working, and we weren't even sure if the fish was still on there. Joe was running around the boat like a madman. Victor and I were trying not to tangle up with the line, hoping that, you know, we weren't going to mess anything up. And everyone was just trying to figure out, what can we do? Joe took one for the team and decided, screw it, I'm going in the water.
You want a line?
Yep. Well, we just had to send Capt Joe VT overboard to go get this giant something or other that is stuck. Oh, look at this! Get this on camera. Shot of the day right here. Capt Joe VT has just swam this thing up from the depths.
Free diving world record.
Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yes, that is him. The monster from the depth.
Oh, get him, John. That's him. Come on, boy. Come on now.
John's got a real hookup.
Don't let him duke you. Don't let him duke you. Woo! Don't let him duke you now.
baby.
Yeah.
He hit this thing one time.
So my man Johnny here is much more of a proficient slow pitch fisherman than I am. I get excited, I fish hard, and I pull on these fish hard. But if you watch Johnny's technique here, this is actually what's much more preferred for slow pitch fishing. Once you hook up to a fish, a steady crank to the surface is going to land you the most possible fish. The reason for that is all you need to do is keep that line tight, and you don't want to shake that big, hefty jig out of the fish's mouth. Think about it. We have a 500-gram jig, and if we're pumping and reeling really erratically, you're increasing the risk that that jig tears a big hole in that fish's mouth and then falls out on the long reel end. So a slow, steady reel is going to land the most fish, specifically with slow pitch jigging. But it definitely doesn't look as entertaining for YouTube purposes when you reel them in like this.
Get him, son. We're tripled up. Hello. And let me tell you something.
Oh, no, it's yellow edge.
We do not. Hey. Woo! Look at that yellow edge, boys! Yes, sirree! That's what dreams are made of, Joe VT!
That's it right there, boy.
Woo! Yes, sir! It's awesome, man. Freaking awesome, right? Johnny Jig Strike. So, Jarrett, my man here, switched over, had a silver jig on, caught a huge yellow edge with it just a second ago. Yep. And then I went ahead and switched it up to something silver, and boom, baby. That's it. Some nice fish.
Much to my dismay, the grouper stopped biting, so Joe said it was time to move to the really deep stuff.
So in the past, I've been called the Captain America of fishing, but right now I'm actually gonna go electric, so I'm more like the Iron Man of fishing. Switching over to the electric reel. This electric reel has a battery pack in my back pocket. I'm all hooked up to it. I gotta figure out, I gotta coil this up, so I gotta get ready. And we're jigging in 1,400 feet of water. Now, we could manually jig in 1,400 feet of water, but it would take me an hour to reel up my jig manually if I didn't get a bite, or even if I had a fish on it. And if we need to pick up and move to the next spot, we want to save that time, so we have these electric jigging reels that are just going to help us out. I have an 800-gram jig. This would be the deepest I've ever dropped a jig before. We're trying to catch as many fish as possible. You can hear everyone else on the boat is also using electric, so let's get down there, see what happens. I just hit bottom, 1465.
So you guys will notice with these electric reels, we essentially use them like any other rod and reel combo when we're actually working the jig. I'm jigging it, reeling manually, cranking the jig up from the bottom, working it, getting my slack out, pretty much like any other rod and reel. But when it's time to retrieve the fish from the bottom or just the jig for the bottom, the electric assist makes a huge difference in time and just overall fatigue, especially when you're fishing for 36 hours.
Fight on the electric. I don't know if that's bottom, boys.
Yeah, bottom.
Possible bottom.
Well, the good news is you got a worst off. You hit bottom.
Definitely on bottom.
Bad news.
I don't know.
I was digging it, dog. I was hopeful.
So snagging bottom anywhere is annoying, but when you're in 1,400 feet of water, the bow in your line and just the overall inability to actually affect the jig that is on the end of your line is super annoying because there's just too much line out, and getting that thing unsnagged is unlikely, not impossible. But after messing with this thing for 5-6 minutes, I was getting frustrated. Joe decided to come over and try and help me out. He wrapped the line around his shirt a couple times, but what he didn't realize was the line was wrapped around itself. Now, this thin line, under heavy tension in 1,400 feet of water, ended up breaking on itself. So, your boy lost quite a bit of line. All right. Okay, real deep spot number 2. Got a 600 gram Johnny Jig torpedoes going down on the electric jigger. The boys are already going. I'm going to try and get in on the action. Luckily, we had a backup jigging setup, so I didn't have to re-spool on the job.
And the whole thing with this is we're constantly trying to find our line on the bottom.
Maybe? So just some, okay, that's a fish.
My hit was really light.
It's small, whatever it is. Okay, well, we have some sort of fish on the electric. I've been getting bites and feels like I've been pulling hook. Victor just pulled hook on something decent that was actually pulling some drag, but we're gonna see what we can get up from the depths here in 1,000 feet of water. Slowly bringing them in with the electric, constant tension, reeling them to the surface. We'll see what happens. We're at 760 feet remaining right now, so we got a little bit of time before it gets to the surface. The cool thing about being this deep is you don't know what it could be. It could be a fish that you've never seen before in your entire life. There's a lot of strange alien looking things out here. And although what I'm hooked up to right now is not the biggest fish in the world, it might be one of the coolest that I've ever caught. And it's always a new world every time I get out here. This is not something that I get to do very often, maybe once a year. So it is awesome, and don't worry, plenty more fish to come. This is just one of many that we're gonna see this trip. Okay, we are getting there within 80, 70 feet. 50 feet. Coming to the surface. We got us something. Got some color. Reel stops once you get this high in the water column, and then you just manually crank it. Let's see what kind of critter we got. We got us a blue line.
Really?
Blue line. Oh no, it's a golden. You're right.
The gold? Oh, that's actually a pretty good one. Nice.
Wow.
Dude, I was gonna ask you guys if you want to leave. You clearly
Oh, look at this. Oh, wily one. Wily one. You got that BKK assist hook in the corner of the mouth. This is a golden tilefish. These guys live in the bottom in over 1,000 feet of water, just hanging out in the mud, eating all sorts of different critters. You see those giant eyes on those guys. Those are so they can maybe see a little bit of something on the bottom because there's not much light down there. But these guys really can act super aggressive because in a lot of ways they are one of the top dogs down there. They're one of the bigger predators. But delicious fish, one of my favorites to eat, and we're definitely getting some delicious table fare this trip, and this is just one of many. And just look at the size of the jig and the size of the fish. That jig is freaking half his size, and they have no problem trying to eat it. Look at those teeth on that guy. Sharp little guys, but beautiful. We got to upsize this, maybe 3-4 times the size. They get a lot bigger than this, but we're gonna get back to jigging. Okay, we are dropping back down with the 600 gram torpedo and just got a nice golden tile in the boat. We're gonna see what else we can get. These are the BKK SF deep assist hooks. See what happens. I don't know, I might have a foul jig or something weird.
I'm gonna get them underwater.
Maybe your jig's fouled up?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think he's resetting anyway.
No, there's something small on there. Okay, y'all, I think I have something really small. And that's one of the funny things about doing this thing in 1,000 feet of water is, well, no matter what it is, you are freaking
pinned to that fish for a long time. You are committed to whatever it is that you hook, big or small. We're waiting on that fish to come up. We're at 800 feet right now. Oh, wow.
Oh, big moonfish, world record.
Well, I just caught the biggest fish that I'm gonna catch all trip. Right here. Absolute monster. You said it's called a moonfish? Austin, you guys call these moonfish?
Yep.
Wow. Well, there's definitely all sorts of species down there. If I was a big golden tilefish or a swordfish or some other predator, I would eat one of these things. All sorts of weird creatures out here. That's another first, another new species. Doink. So the thing with the electric is you're still jigging it the exact same way you would any other reel. It really just helps you reel in all your slack or reel up your jig when you're completely done jigging and you need to reset. Essentially, I'm just using it like a normal reel right now. Pulling the jig off the bottom, pulling it straight up, letting it flutter all the way back down. And when we're in 1,000 feet of water, I'm jigging it hard and aggressive because you think about it, my line is relatively straight, but 1,000 feet, there's still gonna be some sort of bow in it because the current's still trying to pull that line a little. So still pulling a little bit of slack out at the same time. That's why we try and fish really thin braid, like 20-pound braid. I'm fishing PE2 Silk Ocean. Thinner the braid, less drag it's gonna have through the water, more action you're gonna supply to your jig. Joe just caught a monster golden. Woo! Look at that.
That's funny.
This guy.
Good work, Rodney.
Drives the boat, jigs a fish, uses the rod holder, does it all. And ladies, he's single. Hit him up. There you go.
Go down.
Wow, look at that. Delicious fish.
Delicious.
Good job, man.
Thanks, guys.
Hold him sideways for the people at home.
Hold on, I gotta put the boat.
Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
That's a nice one.
Johnny just caught a really nice queen snapper on the same jig that I'm using, so I know I'm doing something right, but
It's gonna happen, Ryan.
Yeah?
It's gonna happen. I am so fired up. I can't.
look at that.
Hopefully I didn't make too much of a fool of myself when I pulled this thing up, but it's such a beautiful fish.
It really is. Good job.
The tail.
You know what's crazy is they get even bigger than that. They get double that size.
That's right.
Woof. Let's try and catch a monster now.
Let's do it, baby.
Work. What's the update, boys?
Morale's high.
Morale's high?
Morale's high. I saw those yellow edge grouper. I want me one of those.
Dude, me too.
We're catching fish. I mean, it's not like a crazy bite, but every spot we go to, we have a few bites or someone pulls up a fish. The boys in the back did work. They put a lot of golden tiles in. Jigs, towards the end, were not too hot. Unless your name's Joe VT.
Joe VT is getting tight right now. I'm sensing a trend when I fish with Joe that like he wants you to come fishing with him, but he's actually just gonna catch all the fish in your face.
It's a YouTube video I don't have to edit. It's a win-win for me.
Johnny, the grandpa of the group, how are you doing?
Mr. Ryan, do you want to know how many fish Grandpa has in the box?
How many fish does grandpa have in the box?
1 yellow edge grouper, 1 queen snapper, 1 golden tile fish, 1 scorpion fish, which we call black belly rosefish back home.
No, it's a different species.
It's a different species.
We're gonna agree to disagree. Moving on.
And then,
You catch rosies too.
and then I caught a weird fish that I've never caught before that I can't remember the name of. But
Moonfish.
hopefully Captain
Moonfish.
Moonfish. He's not in the box, but
Should be.
wisdom, my friend.
Okay, check it out. We are back in a little bit shallower. We're in like 400 to 500 feet of water. Back to the manual. I got rid of the battery pack. Iron Man mode is out. Captain America mode is back in. We got 400 gram Johnny jig. We're dropping back down. There we go. That's a fish. That's a fish. That is a fish. Come on, fish. Get off the bottom. Oh, pull and drag. Pull and drag. Pull and drag. Hook up on the manual. No electric needed, Victor. Oh, look at that man hooking up his battery pack next to me.
So that fish is in the boat? That fish doesn't care whether it's manual or electric, right?
Just got off. Ah!
See, if you had the electric, that wouldn't have happened.
Dude, that thing was acting weird.
Probably Bonita.
I don't know.
Let's be real here.
I'll be honest, y'all. Your boy is not having good luck today. Haven't been getting a lot of opportunities, but the opportunities I just did get on our last drift, I went 0 for 2. I had a really nice fish, pulled hook. Then I hooked another really nice fish, and I was so pissed that I pulled hook, I just palmed the spool. Guess what I did? I broke it off.
Instantly, too.
And then my man Vic over here is just depressed. I don't know what's going on with him.
I always think I'm depressed.
He gets real. He gets real.
Look like I'm depressed.
He gets real quiet, and I'm like, "Our boy, something's
just
wrong."
because you like to talk 24/7 like a chick doesn't mean we're all depressed here. Put on any sunscreen.
Everyone comment down below prayers for Victor.
Pray that I catch. I'm happy.
Something good.
I don't need to pray for anything.
Yeah, he's got his
Have a
cameraman
good
just
time.
filming everyone's good catches. Meanwhile, I'm over here with the poverty GoPro shots.
Johnny hooked up first, something big, and then Ryan right next to him. Both these guys are on big fish.
Some jacks, considering they just caught a jack in the back of the boat.
Look how skinny and like lean they are compared to 2-3 weeks ago.
Have a good fight though.
Hey man, we are pulling some drag. We got a fish that's pissed.
Like taller and fatter and shorter, and these.
Wow. Oh man, cranking a fish up from 400 feet. Takes some time, a little bit of energy too. I'm enjoying it though. Enjoying the time fighting fish because you spend so much time trying to get that bite, man. Might need to take a break though. Cheers. I've been working on the railroad all the live long day. Joe asked me if I was having fun yet, and of course I'm having fun. Anytime I'm on the boat with Joe, anytime I'm on the boat with Vic and Johnny, it's a good time, man. Dennis behind the cam. You got a good crew of guys. Plenty of water, beer, whatever. It's a good time out on the water, man.
Celsius.
Well, if you forget water, it's gonna be a terrible time no matter who you're with, so. Big jack guy.
Never know, it might be surprised.
Well, they caught a jack in the back of the boat, and me and Johnny hooked up simultaneously. Mr. Jack. Woo!
Oh, my bad, buddy.
You're good. There we go. Not the grouper or the snapper that I was hoping for, but we got a big old amberjack. That'll get your arms tired, reeling up from 400 feet. Hey, look at that. You want to give him a little treat? Woo, look at that.
Oh, look at that. Squirrelfish.
And we got those BKK Lentis 6 hooks in the front. Got the SF Deep in the back, and the Johnny Jigs 400 gram. I think that's called the Falling Leaf, but that's one of my favorite jigs. Ton of fun. Gets you kind of like slump busters, man. When you're not getting a lot of bites and you get one of these, it reminds you what it feels like to catch a fish. But this fish is out of season. It's a greater amberjack here, so we gotta let him go, and that's what we're gonna do.
With the sun getting low, we were approaching some of our last jig drops of the evening. Not much was happening until I hooked something massive.
Oh my God, I'm getting destroyed. I'm getting destroyed by something really big.
If you all like fights with monstrous fish from the deep, you all are going to love the fights at UFC 305 this weekend. I know I'm stoked to watch them, and that's why I'm happy to say that this video is sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Y'all, I got a critter. Some sort of critter. Pulled a ton of drag, ate the jig on the bottom.
DraftKings Sportsbook makes it easy and fun to really immerse yourself into the fights through a player-friendly interface. I know whenever I've bet on sports or fights in the past, my entire viewing experience is so much more intense. From the smack talk with my buddies to the anticipation of the last 2 minutes, it's something that really gets me as fired up as fishing does.
Those are wide. Oh, hook! Tight on the Saltiga.
UFC 305 is going to be an awesome time, and I know I'm stoked. Between the awesome prelim fights and the middleweight title fight that's coming up, I am fired up to watch, and DraftKings Sportsbook is going to make it even more fun. So don't miss out on this week's action. New customers who bet $5 will instantly get $150 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code RYANMORIE.
Okay. In the boat. Victor was just talking all this smack, saying I had a shark. Well, you know what? I had the biggest Almaco jack of my entire life, and he was foul hooked. He was hooked in the side, so he fought really, really weird. But that AJ that I let go earlier was out of season. These guys are not out of season, so we're allowed to take this guy home. Beautiful.
A huge thank you to DraftKings for sponsoring today's video.
My man, Joe VT, how you feeling? How you feeling about today?
I am not happy with how the afternoon went. We did leave the tile fish biting.
Dude, you're really salty about these tile fish.
Yeah, I am. Because they're biting good. I was like, oh, let's do variety. But it's for this, what we're doing today, definitely want to see different stuff. We could have caught 50 of those things if we really wanted to, but how many tile fish do we have to catch to get the point across to you guys that we caught tile fish? Caught them on jigs, caught them on bait. We did it. On to the next thing. Caught a queen snapper. That's pretty much it. It sucked this afternoon. It sucked really bad. We are kind of in a wonky moon phase right now, so I'm not saying that's why, but it seemed like the fish wanted to bite a lot better earlier. Like we had a pretty good, I forgot about the grouper. Grouper, we spent too much time on them, but we did the 3 that we did catch. I'm pretty satisfied with that grade, but we'll see if these swordfish want to bite for us tonight. We're gonna finish up red snapper real quick. We only need 3 more for a limit for the trip, and then we're gonna head a little bit offshore and drift for the evening. Maybe we'll catch a swordfish on a jig. How about that?
Well, I need to catch a red snapper. I've only caught 1 short this trip, so I need to get a decent one in the boat. We are tight. Victor said that like the fish won't even eat jigs at like, you know, the sun's going down, and we've just been consistently proving him wrong the whole time. I really like it. I haven't gotten a decent ARS yet this trip. This one's not a giant, but I think that's what this is going to be, an ARS or American red snapper. We'll see. We have a couple more that we can keep. We can keep up to 3 more, I think, so we have a boat limit. So let's see what we got here. It's fun, man. It's fun when the jig and bite's good, and now the sun's not beating down on us, so the morale's high. Boys are cracking a couple beers, sharing some war stories. It's a good time. Oh, and the other boys are hooked up in the back too. Here we go. ARS coming to the surface.
In February and March.
Nice. Whoa, in the boat.
Is thin, dude. Whoa. I should have done that.
That's fine.
We got him though.
Dude, this is leader that's probably been on here for 6 months too.
Wow.
We got us a puffed up American red snapper. Wow. You got a monster, huh? Bang. Those BKK Lentis assist hooks right in the bottom of the mouth this time. These are my favorites, the little double hooks. Whoa, buddy, whoa. Check them out, y'all. Delicious fish. Just spent a whole day catching these in the Atlantic, but they have a plethora of them here in Louisiana and the Gulf. Delicious fish. I think we just finished our limit too. The boys just caught them. Look at that. Oh man, why'd you have to size me up like that, bro? It's like you versus the guy she tells you not to worry about. Like, come on now. Look at that. On jigs. Good time, man. We just finished the limit. Now we can go try and catch a big long bill sea bass.
Yeah. What he said.
Swordfish.
Mud marlin.
Mud marlin, I like that.
We got a few fish.
Golly. So while the boys are putting the baits out, I'm gonna make a quick sandwich, get a little sandwich station going. It's a little, you know, I call this Ryan's Italian, you know, a little salami, a little ham, a little mustard. In case you guys are wondering what the best condiment is, it's mustard. And lots of it. I'm a man.
For you to do all the hard work.
I need some meat.
What you got there?
Dirty girl.
We got Vicks
hazelnut Uncrustables. Much better than what Ryan's making over there.
Ah, dude, come on, man. You make a little sandwiches with the boys.
Come on, Nutella.
A little salami on that. Mm-hmm. Man, we got a little queso too. A little provolone. Bam. We are good to go. We actually bought freaking tomatoes and like onions and lettuce and stuff like that, but I think we left that all at the house. But eating good out here. Well, I don't know how many Chick-fil-A sandwiches I've had today. It's been many Chick-fil-A sandwiches. But something about the boat makes you hungry. We'll let everyone else make a sandwich too.
You're on any percent.
Joe's in the back of the boat rigging up one of these sword baits. Basically, he took a whole squid, cut it in half, tied a hook into it, laced it up with a bunch of floss, and then retied the tentacles to it, making it look like a legitimate squid, but had a hook fashioned in there really, really nicely. He actually said this doesn't look as good as a lot of other baits. I wouldn't know. I'm a swordfish white belt. But he said that the fishing here is so good typically that the fish will eat this no problem, and the guys in Louisiana aren't as technical as the guys on the East Coast when it comes to their sword baits.
So proud of you. So, Joe actually just put in the swordfish light. When you're night timing, definitely need a light. So many things will come up in this. What's one of the craziest things you've ever seen in this, Joe?
A swordfish. Last time at nighttime, I've hand fed like a 120 right next to the boat. I have video of that on my channel. Granted, it's not great video because I didn't have these lights. I bought these lights the next day. But yeah, I was pretty wild, pretty nuts. One of the coolest things I've ever done. So yeah, swordfish. You get baby sailfish. They're all like that big. It's pretty cool. We'll see those later, I'm sure. But yeah, you get a lot of nuts stuff that comes up in lights.
I am excited, man. This is a completely new thing for me. So who knows what we could see? Who knows what could happen? Could be one of the coolest fish that I've ever seen in person.
Oh yeah. Look how pretty.
Wow, Adam just, wow. Look at that thing, scoop netted a flying fish. What? It's the stuff that you do in the lights.
He's flying.
Yeah, these things are all disoriented in the lights, but that was really, really cool, man. Get this fine release.
Oh, there's some blue runners right there. Some cracks, as we call them here. We got a little school of them. Ooh, how about that? Ooh. Let them pile up. Those are tuna baits right there. They're too fast for that now. Oh my God, it is a tuna. Look, you can see the cichlets. Holy shit, that's a tuna. It's a little skipjack.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
You can see the little, you can barely see the little cichlets. You can see the cichlets. That's wild.
That was wild.
Or it's a little bull. It's probably a little bull bonita. Anyways, it's cool. We got mahi. We got a tuna species. I'm still waiting for the sailfish to come up in the lights. It's gonna be any minute now, I'm sure. We're gonna get our grand slam.
I will say that shower was like the best
Dude,
thing
10
that I've
of
ever had. Just literally using the freshwater wash down on the boat to just shower off.
One bottle of Irish Spring for all the boys.
Yeah.
Got it done.
All of us feel human again after a day out, just getting absolutely just roasted by the sun. You peel your shirt off, and I felt like I was like taking a layer of skin off because it's just like kind of glued to you. But we are waiting. It's been, I don't know, 2 hours since we put the sword baits in. Give it another couple hours.
I cannot believe
Joe, can you start trying?
In a net.
You just caught, what that, oh wow, a little blue runner in the light.
In a free scoop and blue runner.
Nice, man.
I'm actually impressed with myself.
Nice. Well, anyways, we're gonna give it another couple hours, and we're gonna get some sleep and hit it hard early in the morning. Good morning, everyone. Someone turned the wind on last night while we were sleeping. Definitely picked up out here. Everyone's falling around the boat, but sun is just about to start peeking up, and we have a really good window to try and catch some big fish. Joe said it's gonna be some of our best chances to catch some of the exotics out here. So getting rigged up and ready to make the most of some of these opportunities.
Fish today or what? Are we gonna underperform like yesterday? Me and Ryan we had a good day, but we did not catch much compared to the boys.
The boys were on it. Victor and I were, I don't know what we were doing. We were definitely trying. We're good triers.
Our participation trophies are gonna come in the mail next week.
So as we started fishing this spot, Joe started telling us stories about fireback grouper and marble grouper. These are two exotic species, if you will, species that aren't regularly caught by guys like Victor and I. These are species that have been long on our bucket list and something that I will always geek on. Now, I've never seen one of these in person, definitely never caught one, but the chance at being able to catch one of these kept me fishing extremely hard.
There we go. Mr. RYANMORIE.
Tight on the little ones.
What's up, YouTube? It's 5:45 a.m. We're catching groupers in the Gulf of Mexico. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow for a giveaway we're doing next week. You have to tag 60 of your friends. It's gonna be epic.
You know, I thought a lot of things about Joe before coming here, and they were all right. And I love every second of it.
We've been buddies for a while.
Whoa, twins! Mine's bigger.
Look, Brian, Victor just pulled up.
Some
We got
monsters.
some vermilion.
You know
snappers.
there's some grouper down there eating these guys.
And I definitely have a real one.
Wow, little vermilion snapper. These guys are actually delicious. You can catch tons of these guys. And yeah, I mean, these things work as bait. They work for table fare, and they're in big schools on the bottom. You can see we're marking tons of them on the Garmin. But I want what's gonna eat these things. So I'm gonna get this guy in hooks, throw him in the box.
I believe I have what is going to eat these.
Yeah, get out of the way, Ryan. Look at Johnny with the real fish over here.
I believe freaking 2 drops, 2 fish, first thing in the morning. This fishery is nothing short of incredible. And this guy's almost up. Seems like he could be even floating. I got some color down there. Hopefully this is the right flavor for us this morning. And what do we got? Scamp grouper! Yes, sir! Yes, sir!
Scamp, another species to the list.
Another species to the list. Hands down, bar none, by far, my favorite and most delicious grouper in the ocean.
Nice, Johnny.
Right next to the yellow.
Good job.
Johnny, what do you got there?
And first drop of the morning, first grouper of the morning. We're just getting started, but beautiful scamp grouper, one of my favorite fish to eat. Absolutely delicious on the slow pitch jig, baby.
Which jig is that?
That is the golden red torpedo, and it comes pre-rigged just like you see here with the 5.0 single assist on top and bottom, and it definitely works, as you can see.
Definitely works. One of the best eating fish in the ocean. Beautiful scamp grouper. You can see that broom tail. That's gorgeous. Can you hold him sideways for me? Wow. Look at that, dude. Great work. Can you teach me how to catch these groupers that you keep catching?
I will. Yep. Yep. It's your turn. Your ticket's up, baby.
Alrighty. Boxed.
Box them.
We have a very good looking box in there. Wow. Look at that. Nice.
At this point, I'm fishing hard. We only have so much more time left at this spot, and we're gonna head back out deep to try and chase some other species. So I'm doing everything I can to try and get a bite from one of those firebacks, because honestly, I have no clue when the next time I'm even gonna have a chance at catching one of these is.
Yoink. Nah, he's just double hooked.
Double duty right now. I actually have the same jig.
Another worm.
Can't pick up something bigger.
Okay, switch into something that I got a lot of bites on yesterday. This is the 400 gram falling leaf. Fish are biting right now. Let's see what happens.
My rod and jigger are stuck in the rod holder. Meanwhile, Ryan's hooked up
on
big.
the bottom. We like that. Woo! Come on, fish.
Nope.
Put your rod down.
Fish is pissed.
You're good.
This is how you expect your fishing trip to go. This is the reality.
This thing just ripped. He did 2 or 3 runs, pull and drag. Shorter, stubbier head, like shorter, faster head shake, so not real positive what it is. Dude, those head shakes are aggressive. Know one thing, anytime you got to get a fish up from 400 plus feet of water, it's always a time investment. It's never a quick fight. Especially if they have any size to them or any fight to them. Got to do the Johnny Jigs special, the old Rodney. Wow. You guys see this technique? The Captain Morgan? This is just, it just looks so ridiculous, but it's honestly the easiest way to reel.
You look ridiculous, Ryan.
I feel ridiculous, Joe. But I felt ridiculous the minute I started associating with you, so here we are. All right, we got deep color, deep color. What do we have? Alco. All right, call it. It was an Almaco jack. Oh, tight again. I think I might know what you have. You think? I'm gonna let this one go.
Good Lord. Don't do that fish. You're done. It's all
Wow. Not
that was a teamwork, team effort there between me and Joey, huh? He's showing it to me over now.
Charlie stole your shot. He really did. Disrespect. There we go, fish off of the bottom.
Get it together, okay?
Come on, fish. Be the right kind. You're fighting good. Just fight good during the bottom and then come on up like a real bottom fish. All right, we got color. Oh, nice ARS.
There.
Wow. Thought it was an amberjack, but we got us a snapper, my biggest of the trip.
The good thing about these overnight trips, you're allowed to keep 2 limits of fish.
Wow. Honestly, this is one of my better fish that I actually got in the boat this trip. Beautiful red on the jig, absolutely munched it. Dude, you mistake these things for amberjacks because they fight so dang hard and they fight the whole way up. I like them when you catch them in deep water like this too. They're all puffed. You see all their scales look all rough and rigid because they're just all that air is being released as they're coming out.
More good eats for the cooler.
Pretty sweet, man. Pretty sweet. Woof. Good job, gents.
Chong.
I have to say, this is probably my favorite jig whenever we're jigging deep. This Johnny Jigs Torpedo in orange. It's just like my confidence jig. Caught more fish in over, you know, in that 500 to 800 foot range on this than any other jig. Probably also dropped it the most, so that definitely has something to do with it. But dropping down, we're in like 620 right now. Possibility of some really cool stuff here. Got him on the manual. All these guys fishing their silly little electrics. I'm hooked up on the manual. Johnny said to drag the jig through the mud. I dragged the jig right through the mud. All right, we literally just cranking and cranking and cranking, man. Cranking this fish to the surface. Running through some golden tiles, it's very possible what I have too. A lot of people hooked up right now on the jig, but it feels good, man. Feels good to do it, especially on the manual. Just remind myself that I can still deep jig in the manual grounds, or deep jig with the manual in the electric grounds where everyone else wants to use their electric reel. I'm gonna keep trying to get one on it. Oh, we got a real nice queen just came in.
Nicely done.
See the size of this beautiful queen snapper. Absolutely gorgeous, all glowing up. The reds and the whites, beautiful fish. Gulf of America Outfitters, Captain Joe VT. Come catch you some beautiful queen snapper like this. Northern Gulf of Mexico's finest. Come see us.
Yeah, this type of area is always really cool because, you know, 700 feet, you can do a little bit of everything and you can catch really good golden tiles and you can also catch big queen snapper, both great eating fish, both fun fish to get on the jig because they fight. Oh man, these are definitely long drawn out fights though, and you really just continue to try and steady pressure. We got a little queen.
Oh, you got a queen?
We got us a little queen. Woo, look at that. That's my first for this trip. That actually could be my biggest queen of all time. Cool fish, man, though. These are delicious deep water fish. And as you can see, they get real big, awesome. Eating the jigs. It's just a good time out here with the boys. No complaints at all. And another species for me this trip, which is cool. Just a lot of different variety out here, and that's why we came to Louisiana. We wanted to get that variety, and we wanted to do it in our own way, jigging them up.
How are you feeling? How are you?
I'm feeling good. Sometimes I gotta pinch myself that we get to do this for a job. It's pretty amazing. We're out here in probably 100+ miles offshore, catching all these exotic species with the boys. How can you complain? It's the best life.
So up in the front, the jigging started to slow down, but we had a super hot bite in the back of the boat on bait. So I went to the back to get Adam to talk us through how these guys deep drop and how these guys catch quality, delicious fish almost every single time they're out here.
Okay, we are re-baiting up. We're gonna drop down some of these little fish that we've caught from the depths. Adam is butterflying them over here. This is absolutely gonna get slammed, I think, considering one of these came up in the mouth of a grouper that we caught. So we know they're eating them.
So as Adam drops his bait to the bottom, it's nice about these electric reels is you don't actually have to thumb it as you drop them. But what you can do is as it's dropping down, you slow it at the very last moment and you stop this weight from plugging itself into the mud, because essentially this bottom is mud. So if you let it hit at full speed, that weight is gonna sink in there and it's gonna be really hard to get back out. But you slow it down, we'll let the weight slowly kind of make its way into the mud, and then you allow it to kind of actually just drag through the mud as you're sitting on bottom. Joe's on the helm trying to keep the boat in gear, out of gear, keep us over top of the spot. But this weight is actually kind of just kicking up a bunch of dirt and mud and other stuff like that. And you wouldn't believe fish come right over and absolutely crush these baits. So after putting a few more grouper in the box, it was time to head in. 36 hours of fishing on the water had us all smoked. So on that 4-hour run in, all of us took naps in the bean bags. As I woke up, I realized we were home. We were back in Fourchon, Louisiana.
Alrighty, we made it back. It is now 5:30. We left at 7 a.m. yesterday, so that was quite a while on the water. Caught some awesome fish, saw some awesome stuff, and learned some stuff. But this video is far from over. We had to sort through all of our gear, obviously, unload the boat. We had to sort through all the fish, we had to clean up the fish, and we had to cook a lot of the fish. Also, gonna probably give a bunch of fish away because we have so much. So super excited to share all this fish with my friends and family. Super excited to taste it for myself because some of the fish we caught are some of the most delicious in the ocean. Okay, behind me, we have quite the pile of delicious fish. We have our work cut out for us to fillet these things up. Right now we're taking a couple thumbnails for you guys. You might have seen those already. But I need to give a big shout out to a bunch of guys here actually. But first off, Joe, appreciate you running. This guy didn't sleep at all last night. If you guys want to come fish with Joe, we have it linked down below. Gulf of America Outfitters, Captain Joe. Huge shout out to Adam for making sure that we came out here. Adam actually wanted to give you guys, my viewers, a special discount. You use code RYANMORIE when you book a charter. It's gonna save you guys $100. And honestly, man, this is one of the most fun sessions that I've ever had, but not for the faint of heart. Come ready to fish hard because Joe wants to fish hard. And unlike a lot of captains out there, this guy actually likes fishing and likes it, you know, to a fault sometimes.
I'll hold people hostage sometimes.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a good time.
Appreciate everyone. Johnny, thank you for all the jigs. Make sure you guys buy some Johnny jigs if you want to come on one of these trips, because
They get bit.
they get bit. We will see you guys at the fillet table. Welcome to Port Fourchon Marina. We are here cutting and cleaning up fish. I have that queen snapper that I caught, or maybe, I don't know if I caught it, but someone on the boat caught it. We're gonna clean up this queen snapper, one of the more delicious fish. Super excited to see this guy. This was one heck of a trip, man. I was cooked after that. I think everyone would agree that we were all absolutely cooked. But man, these are the trips that you think about that you really never forget. You're so dang tired at the end of it, but you don't remember that. You remember how you grinded, how you all were a little delirious at the end of the trip. You're just laughing at things that aren't even supposed to be that funny. And I know that this is something that I'd like to do at least once a year, realistically. It's just a good time, man. Get all these scales off. See, these things got some big, fat old scales. But y'all wanna know something really crazy? Captain Joe woke up at 7 a.m. this morning and he went out on a completely new 36-hour trip. So he is running 2 36-hour trips in a row, him and Austin. Absolute madman, just getting after these fish. Joe loves it, absolutely loves it, and it's awesome, and it's refreshing to meet people that have the same passions as you, and sometimes it makes you realize that there's people that like it even more than you do, which is actually really, really cool. All right, let's pop over this rib cage here. This meat looks so delicious, man. So freaking delicious. Look at that. Heck yeah. Beautiful. Go over those ribs, because we'd have to cut those out anyways. Now we got that bottom part of that fillet looking good. Work all the way down. Dang, man, that is a pretty looking piece of meat. I'm excited to try this, or whoever I'm giving it to should be really excited, because this is some quality stuff, some of the best eating fish out of the ocean. Let's do the other side. Now, one of the cool things about this area is just how dang fishy it is. The entire time that we were fishing, Joe would be looking on his electronics and he'd be finding new spots. He'd be like, oh, let's mark that. Let me mark that. Let me mark that. And I can imagine if you're over here, it's probably overwhelming the amount of stuff that you can fish, the amount of stuff that there's out here to do, and all the species and all the different tactics and techniques that you can use. We really only did 2 or 3 different styles of fishing on this trip, and there's so much more. So, I mean, you could spend a lifetime exploring all this, between the offshore fishery, the inshore fishery, the deep dropping, the pelagics, the tunas, the wahoos, all of the trolling that you can do, the live baiting. Man, it's just an epic time out here, and there's so much to do and so much to explore. Up over them ribs. And get this separated down here. I'll tell you what, every time I'm hanging out with Vic and I'm filleting fish, I'm always reminded the benefit of having an actual sharp knife. Like, a legit sharp knife makes your life so much easier at the fillet table. And just don't forget that. Buy yourself a quality knife sharpener, keep all your stuff good to go, and it's gonna make your life 10 times easier. Let's skin this guy up. So, just keep it close to the edge of the fillet table. I'm actually gonna change knives though. So just got a slightly more flexible knife for skinning. And like I was saying, I just get it up against the edge of the table here and just follow the back of the knife with my hand as I work down this fish. These scalier fish are typically on the easy side when it comes to skinning. All the way up. And just like that. Now all we gotta do is remove some of these here pin bones. So I can feel them with my finger. They're sticking up. They're sticking like this in the fish vertically. So we're just gonna cut that strip out.
feel all the way back. I can feel the very last one is right about here. So that is where I will cut. Right down. I'll make like a very small V cut to remove them all. There's that. Attach it here. That is catfish food. We are left with some delicious looking queen snapper. Man, I'm excited for this. I think I'm gonna clean up a quick little scamp grouper for you guys, kind of show you the difference of that fish. All right, so check this out. We got the carcass from the queen snapper. I've never seen catfish this rank, this crazy here. We're gonna toss them in. Ah, it sank. Wait, let's see if they lift it back up. Look at all those catfish, bro. One more for the road. Okay, so check it out. We have one of the many yellow edges that was caught on the deep drop bait gear. Beautiful fish. I'm stoked on it. I'm a little bummed that I didn't get one on a jig, but that just means your boy has to come back for another trip. Try and knock this off my jig list. But man, just a very, very cool fish. You can see not huge teeth, but a ton of sharp teeth. And these things were eating those longtail sea bass. You saw that one that had the freaking longtail sea bass sticking out of its mouth. Just an awesome fish. And I think it's very similar. I don't know if you agree, Vic. Very similar to a snowy grouper. Like it's just like, I would say that's the closest species to this fish. Yeah. And we have a lot of snowy grouper back home, and like very few yellow edge, but here they have a lot of yellow edge, very few snowies. But just gonna cut into this guy real quick.
You're gonna get down to like your cruising speed just got went down to like 20. But no, probably wouldn't have pushed it up to 50, even though it was 40. So I'm gonna go inside and let this.
Bang, and there we go. Got some cleaned up yellow edge grouper. See how freaking white this looks. Just beautiful, barely any bloodline in it. That's why this is one of the favorite fish of all the guys that live here in Louisiana, and I'm stoked to get it home and cook it up for everyone. I guess that means we will see you guys in the kitchen. What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the kitchen. I am starting out this recipe. I'm slicing some fingerling potatoes in half. We have a lot of people coming over tonight. I think we have like 8 of us in total, and we're gonna be cooking up some of that grouper, some of that snapper from our time in Louisiana. I'm stoked for it. So I'm gonna finish chopping these up and then toss them in a little bit of spices. All right, so now we got all of our potatoes sliced in half. I'm just gonna toss them, going in with some olive oil. We got a lot of potatoes here, so I need at least a decent amount of oil. And just some salt and pepper. And to mix these guys up, we use the 2 best tools in the kitchen, our hands, freshly washed hands. Mix these all together. Finely coated, get everything with a little coating of olive oil. That way, when we roast them, they're all gonna cook pretty evenly. Get a nice crisp on the outside. Lay these all out on a sheet pan. I'm actually gonna try face them all face down. The goal, again, we're getting all of them to cook evenly. And fast forward to them all being face down right now. And voila,
Everything laid out nice and evenly. We're going in the oven. Got the oven pretty hot, 450 right now. These should roast up beautifully. Okay, so very easy to tell what we got going on here. So we have our yellow edge grouper, which is very, very white, not much bloodline. And we also have our queen snapper, which I'm also really excited to try. A little bit more pink, but I've had this before and it's been delicious. I just didn't get to cook it. So I'm excited to try it for the first time myself. Now we are going to rub these guys down with a pretty interesting spice mixture. So we have cumin, paprika, and oregano. So this is definitely gonna have some flavor. This is not your standard salt and pepper, but this is going to, in my opinion, be absolutely delicious. So get a little bit on everything. I'm just gonna rub all of it down. And it'll just be on this one side. Okay, so we have all of our fish laid out, seasoned, oiled up the pan, and I also topped them with a little bit of minced garlic. Now we're gonna go in the oven. I'm gonna put them in for about, I don't know, 6 or 7 minutes at 400, and then we're gonna take them back out and top them with tomatoes before we finish them off. So again, 400 degrees, going on in. So our fish is about halfway cooked. I'm gonna add the juice of about 1 whole lemon. I didn't want to add this earlier because especially if it was going to sit for a second before I threw it in the oven, the lemon would start cooking the fish. But like I said, this is definitely a flavorful recipe. Lots going to be coming through. I guess we could call it kind of like Mediterranean inspired. And that is very good. Now, make sure I don't spill any on Christina's nice clean kitchen. Top everything with some sliced cherry tomatoes. And these are gonna cook pretty dang fast, that's why I didn't want to throw them in right away. And a lot of juice will come out of these guys, but all the flavors of this mixed together, it's going to be delicious. And just going back in for probably, I don't know, like 5-6 minutes till the fish starts flaking properly. I just test it with a fork to make sure it's looking good. Okay, looking good. A lot of juices going. This is gonna be delicious. I'm really excited for this. All right, start out with some of those delicious crispy fingerling potatoes. Those are looking real good. I just popped them back in the oven to reheat up. Nice. Now, I think for this plate, we're gonna go with a beautiful piece of the yellow edge grouper, just right on top of the potatoes. I'm gonna take some of those little cherry tomatoes, some of that juice, and just drizzle that on top. That is going to be delicious. I had Christina, who's behind the camera, my #1 camera woman, make up a salad on the sides. We're also gonna have a salad, so don't be mad at us if it looks like we're not having any vegetables tonight. But this, I am so excited for. We have a ton of happy customers, I believe. Wow, Taylor, way to break something. No, I'm just kidding. Ton of happy customers. Special Easter egg. We have Justin Menendez and Maggie in the house. If you guys watch fishing YouTube, you might know them. But we're all gonna try this out, and we'll have a lot of food critics here in just a couple seconds. Okay, what did everyone think?
Great.
Amazing.
Good?
Amazing.
Good?
Thumbs up.
Aw. You guys are so nice. I don't know if they're lying or not, but I'm just gonna hope that no one's lying. But I wanna thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And if you're looking for more epic content, just go ahead and click on the video that's like right over Christina's face right now. We'll see you guys over there.